Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Barbeno's World. Hopefully this episode today is going to be pretty short so that I can move on to other projects. You probably know that as of now, we are currently in version 1.17, and the newest version out right now is 1.17.1, and I would like to update to that version soon, because it's got a bunch of benefits, fixing some bugs, and stuff like that. But unfortunately, there is one thing that we can only do in 1.17, and that has to do with these guys, the Axolotls. So a few episodes ago, we tried to get all the colors of Axolotls, and I got these four. I have an NBT tooltip mod that shows you that this is variant 0, variant 1, variant 2, and variant 3. But there is actually a variant 4 that's an extremely rare type of axolotl. The type of axolotl that we want is this one right here, and we're going to be calling him the Blue Axolotl from now on, even though he looks kind of purple. This Blue Axolotl is really rare. It only spawns 1 in 1,200 times in the world, so we're going to need to farm up a ton of axolotls to get it. But the reason that we've got to do it in this version is because this mutation is only naturally spawning in 1.17, and once we update, the only way you'll be able to get it is from breeding axolotls, which is going to be so much more difficult. So hopefully I can get it now just by building an axolotl farm. Here's the farm design. This is based on a few designs that I've already seen online. It seems to work quite well, but there are some downsides. Basically, how this is going to work is you're AFKing up there, and axolotls will spawn in this area here. Glow squid will also spawn, but we've got some axolotls that are leashed to the posts that are killing the glow squid. So now from here, we've got to lure all of them into a sort of collection area using one of the mobs that an axolotl is attracted to, and that includes drowns are probably the best option. So I'll put one of them in the area back here. The drowned over there should be able to attract any axolotls that naturally spawn in this area. And I'll swim over here and get dropped down here. And we have a nether portal here. That's because the nether has a separate mob cap for everything compared to the overworld. That'll just free up more spaces for axolotls to spawn. Over in the nether, we just have a simple area. A bunch of axolotls collecting. Unfortunately, we will have the issue that axolotls will occasionally die. I tried to put down some cauldrons to hydrate them, but for some reason they won't hydrate themselves in the cauldrons. That's going to be the main downside. We can only collect a certain amount because as we leave them in the nether for too long, they'll just start dying off. But hopefully, if we keep checking often enough, we should be able to get one of those blue guys. The materials for this really aren't too bad, so I should just be able to grab that pretty quickly. The only thing I might be concerned about is the tinted glass. Personally, I think this tinted glass recipe here is a little bit too expensive. I think you should be able to do it just with this. Unfortunately, we're going to need to grab some more of these amethyst shards if we want just one stack of this stuff. I've got a good trick for finding those geodes. Fly over the ocean and look for big blobs of smooth basalt, and those will indicate places that you can dig into. I see one. Let's fly down to it. I'm just gonna grab all of these crystals with my fortune pickaxe. Only got 54 shards from this geode. I think I'm just gonna go over to my tunnel ore area where I should have a bunch. Yeah, this place is really crazy. If you haven't seen when I dug this out in the last episode, you definitely should check on it. Now, where did I put the amethyst? There we go. Alright, I've gone and actually found the spot for it now. It should be a big plains biome. I shouldn't have built anything here. So, before I go to the overworld, I might as well just set up the nether side of it. It's basically just going to be a pen with a nether portal in the middle. Alright, I'm hoping this is a big enough area for the axolotls to come out of the portal. And we can just go in like this. Yeah, that's perfect, actually. Really good spot. First thing I want to do is just basically as a precaution to clear out all of these water ponds nearby. So the first thing I've got to do here is actually just dig a big hole, because that's the only way we're actually going to be able to get axolotls to spawn. And this area that I've cleared of grass is probably going to be a good spot for it. I do have a schematic for this just to make the building a little bit easier, but I really shouldn't need it. It's going to be super simple. I'll check back in when I'm finished digging this hole. Alright, the hole's going well, but we need to make sure that the entire floor is made out of stone, because axolotls are only able to spawn above stone and other stone types. Alright, here we go. This is actually going pretty well. The walls are all up. I've started to put the water in, but we've yet to do the main area of water, which is going to be down here in the spawning area. So I'm just going to have to use a lot of water buckets. It should just take me a few minutes. Alright, this is going pretty well still, and I think all we've got to do now is get like the entities in that we need for this. So I'm gonna go grab a few things and we'll try to do that. Alright, I've grabbed some axolotls from the base, and we should be able to use these as the squid killers. So I'll just put one in this area here, quickly lead him before he escapes, and I'll just leash him down to that. And one more. Nice. Now they should just be swimming around in circles, killing any squids. Now the last step we gotta do here is just get a drowned mob in this compartment here. So all I've gotta do is relog, and hopefully we can get some zombies spawning. Once we get the zombie, it will convert into a drowned. What I'm gonna do is see if I can chuck them a carved pumpkin. Because if they pick up a carved pumpkin, they won't despawn. Game's paused because I don't want to die, but I did get one to pick it up. He's behind me. Oh, two actually. I'm just gonna fly up to despawn them, or I can sleep. So we just need to lure one of these two guys into the system. We'll see if we can get this one. And run across. Perfect. Alright, he's converted to a drowned now. I'm gonna name him Buddy. Alright, so I've gone and built a bit of an AFK spot up here, and this is where we can just stand and wait for our farm to collect the axolotls. If we free cam here, we can see that a ton of axolotls are spawning. They seem to be attracted to the drowned over here, and they don't actually get pushed by flowing water, but eventually they'll wander into the portal. So obviously it's not super fast, but very slowly we'll start getting a few axolotls going through the portal. Alright, it's only been like 2 or 3 minutes, so let's go over to check how many axolotls we have. I have a few buckets so that I can pick them up before they start dying, but yeah, we've got tons. This is actually really nice. So if I wanted to grab them, I can just use water buckets. Even though water buckets don't work in the nether, I can just pick them up like this. Alright, it's been about an hour or less even, and I think we might as well just go check. I'm not sure what the ideal time frame for checking is, before they start dying from dehydration. Yeah, a couple of them look like they're dying already. We've got a bunch of all of the common colors, but yeah, no rares. Well, I guess I'll see you in another hour. Alright, it's been probably another hour, so we might as well check. Okay. Looks like we really didn't get much this time. Alright, too bad. Okay, something quite unfortunate has happened here. As you might have seen, our drowned here has been killed, I assume, by one of the axolotls. It's quite unfortunate. I knew that there was a chance of this happening, but I thought it would be so rare that I would get the blue axolotl before then. But unfortunately, it's happened already, and that really makes me feel like this farm design is probably going to be infeasible. So I have designed another farm, and I'm ready to build it, I guess. But I won't bore you with all the details of it, and I'll just get it done now, because I want to keep this video moving. Okay, here we go. I've finished up the entire new farm. Now, this one's quite a bit different. What it's actually going to do is allow you to harvest axolotl buckets, rather than the axolotls themselves. So we have a spawning area down here. This is similar to the Raceworks design, with a drowned in the middle instead of a fish, because I found that the fish would occasionally die. And bubble elevators will take all of the axolotls up this middle chute. And then at the top of the chute, they end up in this area. This is a design that I've made based off of Nimbon for collecting buckets of fish. But it should work the same for collecting buckets of axolotls. Let's fly up there and give it a test. Basically, what we've got to do here is stand right here under the slab. I should also have trapdoor. Now, we just have to click in front of us with a water bucket, pick up an axolotl, then throw that, ends up in a hopper below us, and we get a new bucket. Pick up some water, pick up an axolotl, throw the bucket. Then basically we just need to write an auto hotkey script or something like that to allow me to automatically do this. All the axolotls will end up in these chests right here, and I can check through them using the NBT tooltips and see the variant. Okay, I finished doing that auto hotkey script. It's pretty simple. All I've got is one key to turn it on. So it loops these actions. It right clicks once, waits 3 seconds, right clicks again, sleeps for 1 second, and then throws out the bucket. And then it waits for 10 seconds before it does it again, just to ensure there's another axolotl. I just need to turn on the script. Alright, so this actually does look like it's working really well. I have noticed though that there's one small flaw with the farm, with the baby axolotls escaping, but it's really not a big deal to me, and we should still be getting a decent amount of them. So I guess I'll just leave my player at the farm for a few hours and see if I get anything. Okay, time for about a 1 hour check-in, and I gotta tell you, this farm is really good. It's definitely a lot better than the other one. I don't know how much faster, but it's definitely more reliable, and it'll be convenient to have them in buckets immediately. As you can see, we have a few malfunctions with normal buckets getting in here, but yeah, we have a ton of axolotls already in these bottom 2 chests. I'm just gonna go through them looking at the tooltips to see if we have any that are variant 4. Now, I really shouldn't expect one because they are super rare. Alright, so we didn't get any blue ones, but that's alright. I'll just chuck all of these guys out to despawn, I guess. Okay, now I'll probably just go back AFK, see how many I can collect. Okay, you're probably sick of me constantly doing updates, but I have left this AFK for quite a few hours now and we've got a ton. I'd be pretty surprised if we don't have a blue one at this point. So yeah, let's just check in these chests. Alright, so no dice with all of those axolotls. I did the math and it was only 280, so I shouldn't really have expected to get one. I think I'm gonna have to leave these overnight. Alright, I probably used like a full shulker of iron blocks for this, but I finally filled up all of these chests with buckets, so I should be good for an overnight session. I'll probably run out of either space down here or buckets here. Overnight, I'm pretty much guaranteed to get one, I hope, at least. Turn on the macro. Welcome back, everyone. It's not actually the next morning, it's been a couple days since the last clip. I had to wait until I actually found the blue axolotl before I could take this clip. But guess what? I have found it. It's in one of these chests here. I have a texture pack, by the way, that shows the axolotl colors. And there it is. This is incredible. It's taken me like almost a week to get this, but I'm so happy. Yeah, at this point I'm like really sick of this project, so I want to be done with it, but before I do, I want to get at least a few of these blue axolotls, which shouldn't be too hard because once you've got one, You can breed it to get more at a 50% chance, or 100 if you have 2 blue parents. So what I'm going to do now is put it in my ender chest for safekeeping, and then I'm going to go look for some tropical fish to breed the guys. My luck today is actually insane. Look at this wandering trader. He's got another small drip leaf. Really better grab that from him soon. Yeah, even though I already have some drip leaf, I want to collect as many small drip leaf as I can because, as I said, they're only obtainable from the wandering trader. Okay, I should have enough of the tropical fish now. I'm going to put down the axolotls in here. And now we should be able to breed them by just feeding each of them a bucket of tropical fish. Dang it, it's another brown one. Alright, I'll have to wait until they can breed again to see if we can get another blue one. Dang! Yes, finally, finally. Alright, so that went really well. I used that breeding area over in the swamp to get probably like 100 or so of the blue axolotls. And I grabbed a box worth of them and put them in here. So if we ever need a few blue axolotls, we can just grab them from this box. And since I was collecting tropical fish, I also have some here. Well, I guess this is basically just all I wanted to get from this episode. So hopefully you enjoyed it. That's gonna be all for me today. Goodbye.
Barbeno's World, Barbeno's World.